All right, so let's talk about the full season of Winning Time, the Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Last time, I believe we talked about the first couple episodes. I think it was right that dropped, right?
Right.
Yeah. I didn't get around to starting it, unfortunately, and I missed that one or two episodes, I believe it was, that was directed by
Right. Even McCann.
Trinidad's own
Yeah.
Damian Marcano. So
Yeah, he did episodes 3 and 4.
Oh, 3 or 4. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's
he did
that's
episodes
right,
3 and 4.
right, right, right. So it was episode 1 and 2 we talked about earlier,
Right. Right.
and we mentioned that the third one was coming out on the night of, right, of
Right.
us recording. So, um, you know, I was planning to at least check out those two so I could jump into this one, but didn't happen, unfortunately, right? So, Ricardo, take it away. You could cover the full season, and you could make
Oh,
emphasis on Damien's work as well too, because us,
like,
I should say not us, but Trini listeners who want to know what he did. You know what I mean? How he
oh
came
no,
through.
yeah, yeah, it was fantastic. He did episode 3 and 4, and I think he did a great job with both of those episodes. Yeah, so it continues. Basically, it builds on the conceit of the Lakers, mostly focusing on Irvin Magic Johnson. The premise of him just being a great guy and smiley and all optimistic in the vein of the kind of somewhat dour and cynical Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and everything is contextualized with David Buss and all of the movers and shakers of the NBA and the Lakers franchise, and how to bring back the Lakers franchise from scratch. Now, so this show confused the hell out of me, right? Because I was when the first couple episodes I was showing, I was like, all right, it have a couple of like inconsistencies with history stuff. I was like, that's not a big deal because this kind of stuff does always have these little mistakes, but it have some like really egregious unforced errors, and I was wondering why this is the way it is. And there's a couple of reasons that made me think so. The first that had me confused was, this was supposed to be played by Will Ferrell instead, not John C. Reilly. And I was like, all right, that kind of interesting because you remember he did this like 70s basketball thing a few years back. So for
What was the name of it again, boy? I haven't been following Will Ferrell films in like forever.
yeah. But it was one of those making fun of 70s pastiche. Like it was just that, right? That was the whole thing. Just, oh, look how funny the 70s is and the afros and the short shorts and right. It's that. So when I watched that, I was like, okay, this was meant to be more of a farce. I think so, at least. Now, Farrell has a couple serious movies he did. He did something with Ben Stiller recently on Apple TV. I forget what it was, but that was supposed to be kind of serious. So he trying to delve into serious now. But John C. Reilly playing Jerry Buss is absolutely perfect for this role. He is by far the star. He's the star of the story, and he is absolutely pitch perfect for this because remember John C. Reilly was serious first and then went into comedy. Right. Pharrell is comedy trying to go into serious. It, I don't think it would work with Pharrell, to be honest. John C. Reilly is absolutely pitch perfect in balancing comedy and the seriousness and the conceit, and him being a over the top goofy, playboy philanderer type, and then have all this dark like shit behind it, and he make a bunch of great analogies about just not giving up and comparing himself to swans and marathon runners, and it have all of these like metaphors that you see Adam McKay do a lot in his storytelling because it's very Adam McKay. And the second thing is that it's done like it was made from a book. So I don't know it made from a book. I thought it was doing it from scratch. No, it's made from this book. I forget who wrote it, but that reminded me of something. You know what it reminded me of a little bit? The People versus OJ. Right? Remember how I thought that was kind of weird, and I thought one of the OJ Simpson was kind of out of character. It was played by Cuba Gooding Jr. And I didn't really care for it because that felt totally out of character for OJ Simpson.
Yeah,
They had OJ Simpson whiny and bubbling and blithering all the time and real complaining and like that's not OJ. Like that's OJ. Like really?
yeah.
But according to the book, that's the
A
case.
sort of over dramatized version of him in a
Right.
sense. Yeah.
Right. So that's what this same thing kind of does. And that's why I was thinking why it have so many unforced errors in terms of the consistency. And there have some big inconsistencies in this. But it doesn't matter. Once you accept it for what that is, instead of trying to be, it's not meant to be 30 by 30. Right? No. It's not a documentary. It's just a over dramatized docudrama kind of hinting at the thing. So I thought that they would get like small nitpicky facts wrong and it was going to be all very, very factual. And I was thinking, oh well, they might just get the stock price of Nike at the time wrong or something like that. Like little minuscule shit that you won't remember. You had to really nitpick and run the numbers on. No, but they get some big stuff wrong. Like stuff involving Jerry Buss's mother. Like Jerry Buss's mother didn't die during things. She died like a whole year before, and like all the timeline was off and all these kind of things. But with that said, it doesn't matter. This was goddamn fantastic for me. Like it was really, really good. Everybody was great. Again, misrepresentation aside, because I think it was so bad that oh gosh, one of the coaches, the fellow was the former coach. He was mad, because he's still alive. And he's really represented kind of poorly as this hothead, short-tempered kind of maniac now. And he's like, nah. He was like, no, this is total slander, and you're gonna sue them and so on. So, but it's like when you actually see him react in real time about it, it's like, it's kind of sounding accurate though, to be honest. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out and said he didn't like the show. He wrote a whole review of it. A bunch of people was like, yeah, this is inaccurate, and that's not how this is, and that's how that is. And it really don't matter. HBO just stick by the gun and say, look, it's more drama than anything like that. And once you accept that, you move on. And I thought it was great. The actors who they got, most of the casting is perfect. The only casting I thought they got very wrong, but it is not a big deal, was Dr. G. Right? That's the only person I thought they didn't get right. Like Dr. J was way too old, way too kind of, dumpy. Like they tried, I get the idea is that they try to frame him as the old guy compared to the young Magic Johnson. But nah, they went a little too far with that. Dr. J never looked that dumpy. But as it is, it's great. They got a bunch of great actors. Who they choose for Magic? The guy they get for Magic, great, right? Who they got for they got Wood Harris Dread to play the crackhead. He suffered from.
Sorry, I just thinking like The Wire.
Yeah,
although he was not a crackhead, but he was a drug dealer.
Yeah, no, he was straight up crack addict in this. I forget he was playing Dread. Shit, it's slipping my mind. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Quincy Isaiah's Magic Johnson, excellent. John C. Reilly was amazing, like truly fantastic. Who they get? The guy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Solomon Hughes, great, loved it. Again, he's not supposed to be that not that angry and thing, but they contextualize him well. Like I like what they did with him in terms of the contextualization of him. Adrian Brody as Pat Riley was pretty good. Like I didn't expect him to be as good as he was. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, they get Jack McKinney. They have him. They get this fellow playing oh gosh, who played the other coach boy? Right. They have Jason Clarke as Jerry West. I could listen. He well overdo it, and I know Jerry West not that aggressive and Jerry West not that angry, but yeah, people are just mad at that. Like they just they get mad at playing it as playing him so angry and short and kind of what do you call it, as just hot headed. Now it's like that's not accurate. Michael Chiklis playing Red Auerbach. I was like, what? That right. Yeah, up true. Oh gosh, who's the comedian who was in Muppets? Oh gosh, he was in they had Donald Rollins in this Dread.
Okay.
Gillian Jacobs was in a side role. Well, okay, so shout out to Damon McCann because he most likely get to meet Anna Fox. Yeah, we know where you know Anna.
Okay.
Yeah,
big,
she was in that
up to you.
yeah, she was in that episode with well, of course, you know the context of what episode she was in because is Magic Johnson.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. I was about to ask if she had like a serious role. Wink, wink.
Yeah, she was played a sex worker. Like, yeah, no shit. Mike Epps was playing Richard Pryor, Dread. That cracked me up, Dread. Because like that kind of
holy shit.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, How I Met Your Mother. What's her man name? How I Met Your Mother. Who's her man name? He started.
That was it Jason Sudeikis?
No, not Sudeikis. That's from SNL. Jason Siegel.
Right. That the other Jason, right.
Jason Siegel plays. I'm trying to remember the coach. He plays the coach Paul Westhead. Right. So they do like exaggerated versions of each like person. So when Wood Harris, so that was a big part of the plot, and this was real history of Wood Harris trying to hire hit on Paul Westhead, and they do something like that. Yeah, because of his drug problem, they had to kick him out and it's a whole thing. and he ended up hiring somebody to put a hit on Paul Westhead to kill him. Yeah, because he was that mad again, kicked out of the Lakers. So it's all of that whole thing. They do all of that drama, but there's just exaggerated version of it and all of that scenario. But just editing. They use the old cameras like in the movie No. So you have that chromatic aberration and the blur, and they do all of that. It's really well done. Characterization is great. Everything comes together. And the finale is about it's really is the Sixers versus the Lakers. That was the finale because the Celtics got beaten by the 76ers. So one of the main antagonists was Larry Bird. Right? They have Larry Bird like a real asshole. Which I don't know Larry Bird is an asshole like this, but he possibly was an asshole back then. I don't think so, but that's another probably a part of the exaggeration. But they have him as like a main antagonist because Larry Bird, it was Bird versus Johnson throughout the 80s. They have this is the origin of Pat Riley because Pat Riley is probably one of the greatest basketball coaches of ever. Right? I only put Bulls coach above him later. What do you call him? Phil Jackson. Right. Yeah, I only put Phil Jackson above him, like in terms of great coaches, in my opinion, right? That's me being the basic bitch basketball person, right? This was really fantastic. Just good editing. You know, the sign of good editing when you know the outcome of something, and it still have you nervous, right? Because they do a lot of shot clock. Remember, Kareem got injured for Game 6. They do all of that. It's like, all of this actually happened, but they like recontextualize it now. And then, a last piece of drama with I don't want to spoil it, but don't spoil it because this is what kind of happened where Kareem actually got the MVP, right? But what happened is that this is what the NBA used to do, and this is very deliberate. They used to intentionally create drama and do stuff just to create hype outside of the thing to sell tickets. Right, because again, in the case of with Jerry Buss, he was really underwater with the money now, and they had to get treasury and run the money and all kind of stuff. And the big drama in the NBA was to kind of pit Kareem versus Magic. So what it did is that even though Kareem was voted by the media as MVP for the season, because yes, he was, he did the most, he scored the most points, he really carried the team up until that point until he got injured. Magic rallied, and because Magic rallied, Magic ended up accepting it. He didn't accept it in Kareem's favor. He took the award and they gave him the award. I was like, why that real drama to end it off on though? And it's not stuff like that. And it just, everybody just come together and think, look, it's not real. Don't even try. It's not 30 by 30. It's not that.
But thanks for the heads up with that, because I would probably go into this blind and think, wait, so a majority of what I'm seeing here happen,
by
and
the
characters
time
are
I read,
all right.
By the time I reach about episode 4, I realized that it's not even trying to be realistic or anything like that. And it was only when I checked back and see, Will Ferrell wanted to be in this and so and it was probably more meant to be fast more than anything. I was like, all right, it's not meant to be actual history. It's more fast and exaggerated. But as it is, I just thought it was really excellent. Everybody came together. It's so well shot, like the basketball games itself. Like somebody showed some shooting sequence behind the scenes of how it's shot, and they showed this massive green screen in the studio, and then the guy who's with the camera, he on rollerblades running around the players, and like why these scenes look so great and how they edit.
Wow.
It truly fantastic filmmaking all around. Rating. This is gonna make my best of the year more than likely because I give it like a 9 out of 10. I thought this was excellent. I just really had fun with it. But do not go in expecting this to be realistic, right? It's just good actors, people bouncing off each other. Just people really good. A lot of people have great arcs, like Jessie Buss, who's supposed to be Jerry Buss's mom, played by Sally Field. She was great in this. Jeannie Buss, who was the daughter of him. So that relationship between him, the mother and the daughter, that was great. They get Rob Morgan, who to play Magic Father. He was good. Again, John C. Reilly was truly magnanimous. Quincy Isaiah was magnanimous. They were great. Really, really good. Who else were? Yeah, again, Hadley Robinson as Jeannie Buss. She was good. Everybody was good. I just really thoroughly enjoyed this. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's so well done and just did us hit it out to the park with this. I really want a season 2. It's one of those shows I could go indefinitely if they're doing it year by year because the Lakers was running the 80s, the whole 80s they could go through. The Lakers are there that back and forth, and they could probably like skip a season or so because it don't have to be like 10 seasons long, but it could be like a 5-season long show, just skipping every season of when the Lakers won a championship because they had enough years they lost, right? And that was with it was just Lakers and Celtics through the 80s now. And then Magic Johnson's reign was kind of put an end to, in my opinion, the GOAT Michael Jordan, and guys yeah. As I said, personally, I'd have preferred if they could have totally do this with any other team, because like in 2020, my favorite, well, it was what, 2020, right? My favorite, 2021. It was The Last Dance, right?
Or was it 2020 it came out? I swear it was either 2019 or I think it was last decade that came out.
2020.
Or 2020, right?
Yeah, 2020. Right. Yeah. So they do The Last Dance. They could totally do this with Michael Jordan and them if this show work. Like, it have a documentary about Magic Johnson that was kind of loosely based on as well, with the book and this.
Oh, it was on HBO. I wanted to see that, man. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot.
But they could totally do a Last Dance, because 90s Bulls had real drama behind the scenes too, because Jordan was kind of a tyrant. Sorry, he's one of, I consider one of the greatest players, and I use him as a template for success. But it come at a heavy price of being an asshole. Sorry, but this show and series, truly fantastic. Loved it, absolutely loved it. 9 out of 10, loved it. Great series, recommend it.
All right, lovely. I'm gonna give that a look. See, hopefully by year's end, and who knows, it might show up on my list as well, right?
Yeah.